Hello, welcome to the fourth episode of my new series, the Hero of Light Reviews, my Game Boy and Game Boy Color collection. And today I'm going to talk about the fourth Game Boy game that I ever got. In the previous episode, we explored my third game, Tasmania, which was not that great of a choice, and it is now time for the fourth one, which it really was. As we saw in the previous episode, Tasmania had its shortcomings, even though it was made by Sunsoft, a company that made some really good games at its time for the Game Boy. And now the game I am reviewing is also made by Sunsoft, and is a really good one. Now, I got this one some months later than I got the previous game. And I remember that occasion well, because it was the grand opening of one of Greece's largest toy store branch, and it really was that. It was grand. I mean, it had fireworks, balloons, cake, and as you might have guessed, a lot of toys. The toys were half priced for that day, and that day only, and as you might deduce, there were a lot of kids waiting in line. It was a really big event for my town. And so, yeah, we went there, and my parents promised me that I could get one thing, anything I wanted, whatever I want, since it would be cheap, but I had to choose just the one. And needless to say that when the doors opened, I went in and straight to the Nintendo section. And the whole place was huge and had a lot of toys, and I do mean a lot. It was a big deal for my town, and it is sad really, because nowadays the store also sells like kitchen and maintenance stuff, and adult stuff, let's call them that, as well, and so the toys are severely lessened of late. But back in the day, it was this huge store with toys and only toys. So I took my time this time. I sat in front of all these Game Boy games. There were a lot. They were in a glass display, and I studied them carefully, one by one, and finally got to my decision. And that decision was the Looney Tunes. And it proved to be one of my best decisions as far as Game Boy related decisions go. Originally published in 1992, this Sunsoft game featured all of the best known Looney Tunes characters, each in his own stage, and each stage with a somewhat different format, and 7 stages all in all. You got Daffy Duck, you got Sylvester and Tweety, Porky Pig. Then you got Tasmania. Tasmania was here as well. And then you got Speedy Gonzales and the Roadrunner and Coyote, which was one of my favorite stages of the game. And finally Bugs Bunny in the 7th and last stage. And yeah, so it was great. And to start my review, I have to say that I love this game right from the start. I mean, I really loved it. And the mere fact that I could play with all these different characters sold it to me really good. I mean, the stages were well drawn and thought out. I mean, they were. It showed that there was a lot of detail going on in the stage's development, and I used to play this game a lot, and I really mean a lot. I think this is one of the few games that I can make a whole run out of it without losing a single life. There are other Game Boy games that I can do that as well, obviously, but this one definitely was the first, and maybe the one I played for a long time. I played so much that I pretty much memorized all the moves and what there is to do, all the hidden passages and so forth. and it takes me less than 20 minutes to actually complete this game. So in several cases when I had like a little space in time, you know, a little time on my own, I would just get this and play it through real quick, and then continue doing whatever that was I doing. And the game is the 7 stages are not that long. I mean, some of the stages can be defeated in a minute or so. And so yeah. Now this game has its downsides obviously as well, but they are outweighed by the things that it got right and are great about it. The only serious downside I can think of is that the controls are a little slippery, you know. When you move your character, you get to lose a little bit control, and if you're not that familiar with it, you will fall off some ledges early in the game and lose the one life entirely. But you do get used to it and go with the flow after a few tries, and this could actually be one of the many great things about the games, about this game as well, because it really has a nice flow in it and it never gets boring. And I played it a lot as a kid, and I'm still playing it right now as an adult. I think it is a timeless classic for the Game Boy at least, and pretty much a must-have if you really think that you know, if you are a Game Boy enthusiast. And a few of you might know this, and with the emergence of the Game Boy Color, the game was remade with color. It was ported to the Game Boy Color as well, and though the game is still the same, the only thing that changes is the addition of color, which is obviously an improvement, but the game didn't change that much in any other perspective. And as you might know, there were a few great games at the time that got a Game Boy Color remake. I actually have some of these, and we will discuss it in later episodes, but it's not like they remade all of them, and the fact that they choose to remake this game in particular means something. I mean, the Looney Tunes was remade, and this is proving that it was worth the time and effort to do so. And yeah, so here we are. Let's see how our list goes now. As you see, the chronological list has been updated, obviously, but the ranked list is not the same as before, and doesn't correspond with the chronological list anymore. And that's because Looney Tunes is, at least for now, at least in comparison with the 3 other games we have right now, the best of these 4 games. And it outranked Tetris by a small margin, I got to say, only due to the fact that I enjoy playing Looney Tunes as much as a kid as I do now, while Tetris I wasn't that big of a fan when I was a kid, although now is one of my favorites as well. So as we can see, it ranked first in the Warner Brothers section as well, which was to be expected, I presume, and it will remain so for a while, and you'll just have to see to wait and see what will topple it from the first place. And so yeah, so this is it for now. I will post a new video next week with my 5th Game Boy game. So till then, stay tuned, and don't forget to leave any comments in the comment section below to start the discussion, and to subscribe in my channel if you want, and visit my channel for more gaming stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it. Cheers.